Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffee, part of the Provoking Safety channel, the channel where we think, talk, and do safety with the intention of provoking safety at home and in the workplace. This gives me an opportunity to provoke safety with you first thing in the morning. That's the whole idea behind the Morning Coffee, and hopefully it'll stick with you throughout the day. Today is September 10th. I said yesterday that it was going to be quite a substantial day, and it is. It's an impactful day. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. Suicide is something that's prevalent in society. It's unfortunate. And mental health issues are on the rise right now with, of course, current things and how they are. I have a few articles. I want to have a look, and I have a favor to ask you at the end. But let's have a look at the articles and what we have to talk about. We spend roughly 30% of our lives at work. So it's not unusual that mental health issues will crop up at work. I was looking around trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to talk about today. When I had a look and noticed that it was World Suicide Prevention Day, and actually September is Suicide Prevention Month. I thought about what do we do in the workplace? What do we do? Is there anything that we can do? And one of the things is, number one, people have to be empowered to want to talk about their mental health. They have to be empowered to come forth and say, you know what? I'm suffering. I'm having a rough time. Workplaces often, larger workplaces, will have EFAP, like an emergency family assistance program and things like that where you can get counseling, but it's getting that person there. This author here, Alice Boyes, has provided a good article about what to do. Now, comes from the United States, but realistically, depression transcends borders. We don't need to look at things in the United States, but what she has said is that 18% of the people in the workforce are experiencing a mental health condition. I would say that as of right now, that number is likely much greater due to the extenuating circumstances that are going on in the world with the recent pandemic. Depression and anxiety are common, and even you'll find the most productive people or the most creative people are often also going to be plagued with this. Mental health is not just for one demographic or one person or type of person. It affects all sorts of walks of life. And mental health and physical health have to be treated differently. She says this, and it's good to emphasize. A lot of times, instead of people wanting to say, I need to take a mental health day, or I need to take 2 days off, they will say, I've got a migraine, or I've got some other problem, or call in sick. Often, too, 1 or 2 days is not enough to solve the problem. I have a couple of more links, and we're going to look at them in just a sec, so just bear with me. There are stereotypes often that they figure it's the average and low performers that are plagued by this, or marginalized people, or those in a lower income demographic, but it's not. Depression and suicide tendencies transcend all demographics and both genders. I'll talk a bit more about that in just a sec, so just bear with me. Stress can trigger or exacerbate mental health struggles, but it's not the same thing. Companies often think, well, we'll teach people how to cope with stress. It's not that. The main thing is having the conversations. I'm going to leave links to all the articles below, so don't worry, I'll jump back and forth. But this author talks about some good ways to destigmatize mental health. And that's the big thing. You'll find that people at work will talk about anything. I've had conversations, I've had people tell me about their hemorrhoids at work. But for some reason, they don't want to talk about that they're so depressed that they would like to end it all. The signs are clear in a lot of cases. We'll talk about signs in just a sec. But as I said, mental health issues transcend everybody. Many might not know, but this person here, she's a Canadian Senator, Denise Batters. She lost her husband, who was an MP, a member of Parliament, to suicide in 2009. As she says, a lot of people are still uncomfortable talking about this. This article is a year old, but I grabbed it because I wanted to show that, you know what, even people in higher positions or in a different demographic, not necessarily marginalized or low-income people, all sorts of people suffer this. Dave was a member of Parliament, and Mr. Batters, I didn't know him, but the article says Dave was a member of Parliament from 2004 to 2008. He decided not to run again because of his mental health issues. Shortly thereafter, he committed suicide. She goes on to say, the most important thing is it's not talked about enough. We don't have the conversations enough. The best advice is for people to get the help that's possible. But for us to reach out and ask them, talk to people. Are you suffering? Is there a problem? You know, you don't seem yourself. And as I've said, I've got a couple of links with some toolboxes, and I'm going to show them right now. But the main thing is to reach out no matter what. A lot of people don't realize that men are far more likely to commit suicide than women. Women will make the attempt more often and more times than men. The statistics are higher for women to attempt it, but men often finish the job more so. And this link here, and as I said, I'll post them both below, is a campaign. It's called Buddy Up. And so I got to ask you a favor, tweet, hashtag, whatever, even share this video if you want. And along with the hashtags that I'm going to leave with it is Buddy Up and prevention and suicide prevention, because we can do a lot. And this goes on to say that we have to notice, are they not texting or not reaching out, not calling, not as social as they were before? Are they drinking more than usual? Do they seem exhausted and tired more? Are they talking about all the negative aspects of life? And are they have less tolerance and less temper than usual? Don't be afraid to talk to them. Reach out. Whether you're talking on the phone or you're giving the person a ride to work, whatever the case may be, keep it going, keep talking. And remember, we're not counselors, but the best thing that we can do is, if we have to, get some numbers, get some resources, pamphlets, whatever the case may be. And no matter what, pester and say, here's a number to call or so forth. And you know what? If they're talking about committing suicide, call 911. Don't leave them alone. Make sure somebody stays with them. This is the Center for Suicide Prevention. It's a Canadian website. It's called suicideinfo.ca. I'll leave the links below. But I encourage you to consider that there's resources available and more that you can do. Don't be afraid. Talk about it. I'm going to make this a two-part thing. Tomorrow I'm going to have a bunch of toolkits for what can be done at work, because a lot of people don't understand is the health in health and safety also means mental health. And mental health has become a big part of health and safety. Once again, I'm going to ask you a favor. Do me a favor. Share this video, or at least retweet or share it on Facebook. Share something on Facebook about suicide prevention. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and hashtag it. Spread it around. That's it for now. I know it was a heavy day today, but do me a favor. Think safety, talk safety, and do safety with the intention of provoking safety at home and in the workplace. And that includes provoking mental health. Anyway, take care. Bye for now.